Clark's entrance into the WNBA has brought a level of attention that few could have anticipated. Game after game, her on-court presence has audiences captivated, and NBA executives are left pondering how their own viewership could be plummeting so drastically. Fans are witnessing a sharp contrast with each NBA Finals game. The numbers tell a concerning story. Game 1 ratings were down by 45%, the second saw a 53% decline, and by the final game, viewership had dropped by 51%. Clark's impact on the WNBA is undeniable. Whenever she takes to the court, the crowd's enthusiasm reaches an all-time high. Her stunning, no-look passes leave defenders spinning, while her long-distance shots electrify the audience. It's clear the fans can't get enough, recording her every move, thrilled by each play. Clark's arrival has added an energy to women's basketball that's hard to ignore. Her presence commands attention, and it's as if she's brought a new sense of excitement and competitiveness to the league. Kayla Owa, another standout, was in awe, watching Clark command the game with her skills. She recalled moments when Clark, despite being exhausted, would signal for her teammates to take the shot, only to reclaim control moments later. "Take that one, Kelsey," she'd say, stepping aside, only to surprise everyone with a sudden, powerful move to the left. Anyone familiar with Clark's style knows what's coming when she goes left. It's like watching a seasoned player prepare a game-winning move, calculated and intentional. The real surprise, however, came with the numbers. Clark's debut game didn't just perform well, it exceeded expectations, pulling in viewership figures that made the NBA's opening night seem modest in comparison. And this wasn't just a one-time phenomenon. Every game she plays consistently draws more attention than the NBA's biggest names. A recent game between Clark and Angel Reese attracted an astonishing 2.5 million viewers, numbers that network executives dream about. The upcoming match between Clark's Indiana Fever and Reese's Chicago Sky is expected to break records, with ticket prices soaring. Seats to witness this rivalry start at $250, and the most premium tickets are being listed for over $99,000. The anticipation for Clark's games is not without precedent. Her recent face-off with Angel Reese was the most-watched WNBA game in over 2 decades, drawing in an average of 2.25 million viewers and peaking at 3 million, according to CBS Sports. In contrast, the NBA has been grappling with declining viewership in recent years. The average NBA game now draws only about 1.6 million viewers, a 42% drop from previous seasons. The recent season opener featuring Victor Wembanyama saw a substantial dip, leaving analysts concerned about the league's future. Clark's presence is not just affecting television ratings, but is also influencing the in-game experience. People are rescheduling their plans, marking their calendars, and setting phone reminders to ensure they don't miss her performances. Her effect is palpable. Average attendance at WNBA games has hit an all-time high, reflecting the renewed enthusiasm she has sparked in fans. Clark's influence reaches far beyond just being a player. She's transforming the perception of women's basketball entirely, proving it can be as thrilling, skilled, and captivating as any major sporting event. Clark isn't simply enjoying a lucky streak. Her impact is genuine and transformative. Some might wonder if she's merely riding a wave of rookie enthusiasm, but the reality is much more profound. The recent numbers show that the NBA, once the undisputed king of basketball, is now facing a viewership decline, while the WNBA, with Clark at its forefront, is thriving. The NBA's opening night on ESPN couldn't pull in the same numbers as WNBA games featuring Clark. Her presence on the court has sparked interest on a scale usually reserved for veteran superstars. For many, Clark has become the player everyone wants to watch, her popularity even rivaling household names like LeBron James. The NBA's season opener brought in an average of just 1.6 million viewers, a 42% decrease from the previous year. TNT's Thursday night games also saw a steep drop, with viewership down 29% from last year's numbers. Meanwhile, Clark's debut game attracted over 2.5 million viewers, setting a standard that established NBA players are struggling to match. What's even more surprising is the shift in overall viewership trends. While the NBA's regular season struggles to maintain an average of 1.2 million viewers, some games barely reach 800,000. Compare that to Clark's recent showdown with the Connecticut Sun, which drew massive numbers. The NBA's usual heavyweights like the Bucks, 76ers, and Clippers have all faced declining viewership. In fact, TNT's recent Thursday game, featuring Luka Doncic against Victor Wembanyama, only attracted 1.45 million viewers, a nearly 30% drop from last year. And it's not just basketball audiences shifting their focus. Football games, even featuring amateur players, have started drawing more attention than some NBA matchups, a trend that has left NBA executives in a state of concern. While some point to factors like illegal streaming and high subscription costs, the reality is clear: fans will tune in when they're truly engaged. Despite these challenges, WNBA games, particularly those featuring Clark, are consistently pulling in strong numbers. The question now is whether the NBA can regain its former appeal, or if Clark's influence on the WNBA will continue to reshape the basketball landscape. Clark's impact goes beyond statistics. She's fundamentally changing how people view women's basketball. It's no longer just a game, it's an experience that fans are eager to witness. Attendance rates are climbing, and the atmosphere in arenas has never been more vibrant. The average yearly attendance has reached record highs, a clear indication of the excitement Clark has brought to the sport. Even Clark herself seems to understand the magnitude of what's happening. Every time she steps onto the court, she does so with an awareness of the crowd's expectations. Each play, every pass, and each long-range shot feels like a statement showcasing that women's basketball is as skilled, intense, and entertaining as any major league. It's about more than just the score, it's about a shift in perception, drawing in both loyal fans and newcomers who are captivated by the energy she brings. The impact Caitlin Clark has had on basketball is monumental, especially on the women's side of the sport. Many might wonder if her rookie season's success is just a temporary phenomenon, but experts agree that this is the beginning of a major shift. People are clearing their schedules to watch Clark play, and the excitement around her games is spreading fast. The WNBA has seen an unprecedented rise in attendance and viewership, with ticket sales skyrocketing by 93% in 2024 compared to previous years. Before Clark's arrival, the league was already gaining momentum, but she has accelerated this growth to a level that no one could have anticipated. In fact, the WNBA has experienced a staggering 400% growth in viewership, thanks in large part to the attention Clark has brought. Analysts predict that the league's media rights deals could rise from $200 million to $300 million of financial transformation driven by the growing popularity of players like Clark, who prove that women's basketball isn't just competitive, it's must-see entertainment. The financial success of the WNBA, fueled by Clark's influence, is expected to have lasting impacts on the league. Increased viewership, higher ticket sales, and more lucrative media deals mean more revenue, which could eventually lead to higher salaries for players. While it might take time before WNBA players earn seven-figure salaries, the growth trajectory suggests that it's only a matter of time before substantial financial gains reach the athletes. With all the buzz around Clark and the WNBA's rising popularity, some speculate that the NBA might be feeling the pressure. A rookie player has quickly become one of the hottest names in basketball, forcing the NBA to rethink its approach. The question is no longer if women's basketball can stand alongside men's now, it's whether the NBA can keep pace with the momentum the WNBA is gaining. The landscape of professional basketball is changing fast, and it's becoming clear that Clark's influence is only growing stronger. The NBA's recent decline in viewership has prompted league officials to consider drastic changes to regain fan interest. Traditionally, the NBA was unrivaled in the world of basketball, but with Clark's rise in the WNBA, they are now facing a competitor they didn't see coming. The NBA's ratings for its All-Star Game recently hit an all-time low, with only 4.59 million viewers tuning in, a stark contrast to the larger audiences of previous decades. Meanwhile, events like the Super Bowl continue to grow, highlighting the fact that other sports leagues are maintaining or increasing their appeal while the NBA struggles. To combat this shift, the NBA has explored strategies to attract younger viewers, including potential rule changes and more focused marketing efforts on social media platforms like TikTok. Additionally, there's talk of possible collaborations between the NBA and WNBA, including joint events during All-Star Weekend or even a mixed-gender All-Star Game. While these ideas are being considered, it's clear that the NBA will need to adapt to the changing landscape or risk falling further behind in this new era of basketball. The future of basketball is at a pivotal moment. The next steps the NBA takes could redefine the sport, either by embracing this new era or attempting to stick with its traditional approach. One thing is certain: the game of basketball is evolving, and the audience's preferences are shifting. With the WNBA capturing a larger share of attention, Thanks in large part to Clark's influence, the NBA is realizing it can no longer rely solely on the tried-and-true formulas that worked in the past. Clark's effect is evident beyond just viewership. She's reshaping basketball culture itself, proving that fans are drawn to skill, excitement, and authentic competitiveness. Her style of play, marked by deep three-pointers and no-look passes, has captivated viewers, bringing a unique flair that's helping to redefine women's basketball. The WNBA is now seeing record-breaking growth in ticket sales and a heightened level of respect within the sports community, with Clark standing at the center of this transformation. The numbers tell a compelling story. Ticket sales for WNBA games surged by 16% in 2023 compared to the previous year, and in 2024, they've nearly doubled, up by 93%. Without Clark's influence, the league would have likely needed several more years to achieve this level of growth. Before her entry into the WNBA, viewership had already been climbing, with a 40% increase from 2022 to 2023. However, with Clark in the spotlight, that growth skyrocketed to an astounding 400%, a shift that has dramatically accelerated the league's momentum. The excitement surrounding Clark's journey has led many to question if the NBA will be able to keep up. The NBA, once unchallenged in its dominance, now finds itself facing an unexpected competitor. As Clark continues to draw in record-breaking audiences, the NBA is left to reassess its approach and consider new strategies to maintain its place in the basketball world. In a sport that's constantly evolving, Caitlin Clark has proven that one player can ignite a movement, and she's done just that, revolutionizing the perception of women's basketball and paving the way for a future where the WNBA stands as a powerhouse in its own right. This is only the beginning, as basketball enters a new era where players like Clark inspire not only young athletes but also fans across the globe. The game has changed, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge, showing us all that the future of basketball is brighter, bolder, and more inclusive than ever before.